The following program is a public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Welcome to Asian Chronicle USA. I'm Lourdes, your host, and today we're very happy to welcome someone I know, a leader in her community, in the Indonesian community here in Chicago. We welcome Monica Nathan. Welcome, Monica, to our show.
Nice meeting you.
And I know Monica is very active in her church. That's how I got to know her, because she's right now on the board of the Asian Catholic Initiatives in the Archdiocese of Chicago, where I work part-time. And that's how we got to meet and to get to know each other. So Monica, you are here to talk about the industry, the main industry, or the main product maybe of Indonesia, right?
Right, that's right.
But introduce yourself to our viewing audience first.
Okay, well,
talk about yourself a little bit.
All right, like Lourdes say, my name is Monica Nathan, and I just to talk a little bit about before I started doing this business. I used to work in Accenture actually for 23 and a half years, so that's quite a long time. And so about 2 years ago, a little bit more, over a year ago, I decided to start my own business, and that's where I came into this
When
industry.
did you come to the United States?
Oh, in '86 actually. I went to school in Ohio, in University of Akron. I got my both my bachelor and master's degree in the industrial organizational psychology, and that's how I got into the consulting business in Accenture.
Mm-hmm. And you decided to come to Chicago. What drove you in here to Chicago?
It's actually the job. It's funny how it worked, but yes, Accenture is the one that had a project at the time in Chicago, and I happened to have the skills, and so I was brought in here, and I fell in love with the city, and because I went to school here too in the United States, so that's the reason it feels very comfortable, I think, to be here.
And I said that you are very much involved in your community.
That's right.
Tell us some of your involvement.
Well, I am the coordinator or the lead for the Indonesian Catholic community, and so we do routine activities like doing mass, doing rosary prayer together, doing Bible study together, and we do also quite a bit of fundraising. I think.
Talk about those fundraising.
Yeah, we just did a fundraising to help a priest building a church in the remote place in Medan. And we did.
Medan is a town?
Yeah, a town in North Sumatra. But when we talk about, I mean, this is probably like a small place in the village.
Okay.
And so they needed the money, and this priest used to study here for like about 3 months, and so we wanted to support him in building this church, and so we did this fundraising activity, and we raised quite a bit of dollar, I think, which is quite. I think we raised about $7,000, which is quite good considering.
That's really
good.
Considering
the money that I think it only needs between 8 to 10,000 to build that church. So I think we did quite a bit of help.
So you don't need much anymore.
We probably so.
Right.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Yeah.
And how long will it take the town or the church to build them?
It's probably. I think they probably already start working now. So it's gonna take a few months to do it. Yeah.
So that's really good. And a lot of the Indonesians do a lot of fundraising, helping your home country, right?
That's right. That's right.
What
That's all we
other
can do.
activities?
Yeah, I think in one of the Asian, when we did the Christmas celebration, all jointly, all the Indonesian in Chicago, all organizations, so not only Catholic, but we invited everybody, all the Indonesians in Chicago. We also always do fundraising in that event. And one year we did fundraising for an orphanage home, which so we worked with the orphanage home in Indonesia,
Right.
and we asked those children, it happened to be around Christmas time, so we asked those children in terms of what they would like to have for Christmas. And so we collected some money during the event, and we purchased the gift from those money, and we delivered them to the orphanage home, and they're so happy to receive those goods. And it's so, I'm so thrilled to see them, with the bicycles and whatever that they wish for, so it's.
The Indonesian community is very close to Asian Chronicle USA. That's why when there was that farewell party for Consul General Supandi, we were invited, and we presented him with an award for doing volunteer service beyond the call of duty.
Oh, wow.
We love Consul Supandi.
Oh, we do too.
Yeah, we
too.
miss him already, right?
We miss him terribly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a new Consul General already?
The
Is
new
there a
one?
new one now?
I think the person hasn't come yet, I don't believe. Yeah, but I think it's been appointed.
Right. So now let's talk about the batik industry.
Yeah, so I started.
Maybe start with the history, how
history?
it got all started.
Yeah, the batik itself, it's really, started way back when we in Indonesia used to have palaces, and there's lots of ladies in waiting, and so they, as a pastime, they do the batik, batik street, which is using.
What does batik mean?
Batik means putting dots, like it's actually drawing with lots of dots. Batik means like making dots and making like a beautiful pattern to the fabric. And using, the technique is using like a wax that you melt and put, the coloring comes from all kinds of plants back then. I'm sure right now there's all kinds of coloring.
It's all different.
But yeah, it's all different now, but it's really, it started in there as more like a pastime for those
women.
ladies, for women. And but it became, gosh, everybody loves batik.
So did they do it on materials, or did they do it on already ready-made clothes?
Oh,
How did they do it?
Yeah, no, they do it on materials. So
On materials.
materials
before
first.
The materials are sewn.
Correct. And so it takes months to do it, and that's the old ways of doing it takes a long time to make batik, and that's why it costs quite a bit. It costs very expensive. But these days they come up with batik prints and stuff, so it's easier to produce, and that bring the cost too down, and everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah, the batik materials are pretty popular in the Philippines because we're very close to Indonesia.
Yeah.
And by boat, merchants go to
Right.
Indonesia to buy the batik materials, or sometimes ready-made
Right.
clothes already.
Right.
And they are transported to Mindanao, which is the southernmost island in the Philippines, and that's how we get batik.
Right.
And how did you get started with this business?
Well, it's kind of funny because when I started doing this after I resigned from the company, I started with the promotional products business, which is selling custom products to companies, organizations. When you see things with logo, that's what I do. So my clients or my customers are mostly universities or companies like that. But because of my involvement with the Indonesian community, then I found out that there's such a growing interest in celebrating the heritage of Indonesian tradition. And so that's when I kind of, listen to what people like, and that's where I start introducing batik, and not only batik, but also other clothing, within Indonesia that is kind of special. And we can talk about it. And some of this is, like this is an example, the one that I'm wearing.
That's not batik, is it?
This is not batik, but this is not batik, but this is like a hand-drawn painting. So each one is drawn individually by a local we they're street artists, young folks, rather than doing graffiti, all over the wall, and so we make them to be productive and doing something
those
beautiful.
Those are not machine prints from
No, they
factory,
are not.
huh?
Not at all. They are like individually, and you can even order, or you can even ask what you want to be on it, just because everything is custom made. Yeah, so that's one of the example, and this is another example. Is what I'm bringing here is this is also hand drawn.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's if you can see, this is a Balinese dancer.
Right.
Painting. Picture. So,
headdress.
Yeah. So it's gorgeous. I mean, and this blouse is actually so nice to wear, and but also
I think it's a size fits all. Or
yes, it's all size, but we can also ask. Sometimes I request smaller sizes or bigger sizes. But this is an example of not necessarily a batik, clothing, but it's Indonesian clothing and made by a local artist, hand painted. Every single one of them is hand painted, and we can request whatever painting you want. And I love to just bring out all the Indonesian, dancers, because it's so colorful, and so it's.
All right. Now you have some models. You brought some models with you.
Yes, I'm so lucky.
To show the batik prints.
Right.
So who is the first one we're gonna call on?
Okay. The first one I'm gonna call actually my son, Alan Nugroho. Yes, Alan is just wearing. This is more like a modern type of batik. Long sleeve usually is worn for nighttime or evening time, so for parties and gatherings, and that's actually made of silk material. Okay. The next one is Madison. Madison is Alan's friend, Madison. And Madison is also wearing batik prints, and the top is like taffeta, and the blouse is got a influence from Sumatra in terms of the style. And then the bottom is just sarong, but it's made to a dress so that
Madison.
It's easier.
Let's focus on your skirt there.
Yes, it's a sarong that typically, in the olden days, you just kind of make wrap around. But in today's modern world, it's easier to be made as a dress already, and so that's.
And the prints are different on the back, so you want to turn around.
Yeah, the prints in the front and the back are different.
Okay, and there's the back.
Yeah.
Okay, you can turn around, Madison.
And Madison's also wearing all kinds of jewelry.
She's so pretty.
She's so pretty and tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
thank you, Madison.
All right, next one I'm going to call Effie. Effie is our dear friend. Effie is wearing kebaya peranakan atau kebaya encim. I don't know
what does that mean.
It's influenced by.
It's embroidery,
yeah,
right?
It's embroidery, and it's influenced by Chinese, I guess. And it's very popular in Malaysia too.
That kind of embroidery in the Philippines too.
Right. The embroidery is not a patch; it's a real embroidery on the clothing. So it also takes a long time to make them. And the sarong is, she's wearing it differently. It's called lilit, or when you wrap around and then you kind of pull it, so it looks a little bit more modern too, and a little bit more casual in a way.
Very pretty.
Yes.
But you can also wear this for a party.
Yes, absolutely. You can wear this as a party depending on how you want to wear the bottom and stuff like that. And she's also wearing the jewelry, some of the ones that I carry as well. It's silver plated.
Are
earrings.
those from Indonesia also?
As
the
well,
jewelry?
yes.
The necklace that Madison was wearing was very pretty.
Yes,
Is
that's
that from
also,
Indonesia
yes,
also?
it's all silver.
Thank you, Effie.
All the silver works. Indonesia is very popular
Uh-huh.
with all the silver works.
Okay,
So
who's next?
The next one I'm gonna call Nick Wangke.
Oh, our shy model.
Our
Come
shy
on,
model.
Nick.
Nick is.
I like that.
Nick is a professional model. Just kidding, Nick.
I like
But,
that
yeah,
shirt.
he's wearing another silky type, outfit that if it's a short sleeve, you can turn around until to see the front.
Turn around,
Short
face
sleeve
the
can be worn for, in the afternoon, but also can be worn at night, really.
Yeah.
Depending. And he's wearing a black pants and black shoes, and then that's perfect for
Very
in the
nice
evening
match,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very nice. Very nice, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay,
I think the
we'll call a couple more models later.
Oh.
So, how do you sell these here?
Oh, I do have a website, so that's
Okay.
the mybatikshop.com. So I'm so lucky to get that domain, but that where I sell a lot of these products in. But I also have Facebook, and people love to buy on Facebook. The reason for that is because I think there's a lot more engagement in the Facebook. People can ask, can I see the back? And then I would show the back, or how much is this, or what. So there's a lot of conversations in that, and that seems to be a kind of a growing pattern, a growing trend to sell products.
Are your
through
prices
Facebook.
reasonable?
Absolutely.
Like, for example, the top and then that sarong that was worn by Effie, approximately how much would that be?
That's actually probably not even. I mean, the whole ensemble, not even $100. Not.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a lot less than that.
Uh-huh.
So, because I also studied the buying pattern of the Indonesian community and other communities as well. What can easily sell, and that's I try to stick within those range, but I don't want to sacrifice on the quality. So even when we're bringing the kind of low cost goods, but I try to kind of stick with some kind of quality standards. But yeah, so we're trying to bring the batik and the different type of Indonesian clothing to everybody.
So how do you bring in those your merchandise into the United States? Government regulations that you have to abide by.
Right. So we do have, we can ship them, and we have the license to import, and yeah. So that's because my company, I established my company about a year ago. It's Monica Nathan Incorporated. So it's the hardest thing with that is that the shipping is always costly,
Expensive,
right? It's very
right?
expensive.
Yeah.
That's the reason the merchandise cannot be as low as you get it in Indonesia. Of course not, because there's that cost in between to transport the goods
And you have
over
to
here.
make some money too.
Well, yeah. Even though for France, usually it's like, oh no, I don't need that.
So, do women, well, guys too, they are wearing batik. Do people in Indonesia mostly wear batik, or they buy other clothing from other countries too?
Oh, it's surprisingly, batik is so loved in Indonesia. I just went back, I went back a couple times in October, and just recently, about 3-4 weeks ago, I went there, and wherever I went, to the mall, everybody's wearing batik, especially on Friday. It's like Friday is batik day. So that's where I also could glance at, what people are wearing these days, and, what is in today, and things
But
like
not
that.
all are handmade now, right?
No.
Some are manufactured.
Right.
in
They're
factories
batik prints.
now.
Correct. They're batik prints manufactured, but the style is so.
Like, for example, the skirt of this on the mannequin.
The skirt is like a tanun. Actually, we call it tanun. It's like woven. You know, this is from Nusa Tenggara, which is what, in Sulawesi. Yes, it's like a different island. So we brought it from the place where they actually the best in terms of the producer of this type of material. So it is.
Are women wearing mostly sarong in Indonesia, or they wear like ordinary clothes like I do?
I guess it really depends on where you are. I mean, where in Indonesia, right? I mean, even in Jakarta, where I grew up and where I live,
in the big cities.
Big cities, no, they wear normal clothes.
Regular
they don't wear sarongs. But in villages, you know, they probably still do wear those too.
Even at home, right?
At home too, yeah.
Right.
Or even, you know, we do have house helpers, and they sometimes do still wear those sarongs. Yes, it's very common.
haven't seen a heavy set Indonesian.
You have not been Indonesian?
I
Oh,
have
you
not seen
should.
a heavy set Indonesian. You women are all so skinny.
Oh, no. Yeah, well.
I don't know. I have to know what you eat, so I can be skinny like you.
Oh, no, you are too very skinny. No, it's
we-
probably the heat.
Oh, okay. We are bringing back a couple of the models, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's call Ellen again. My son,
Ellen.
Ellen Nugroho. Ellen is wearing just kind of a, you know, day-to-day casual.
This is like a casual.
Yeah, casual clothes. And this is not something that you would want to wear to a party, but would you, I mean, you would see this every day. People will be wearing this. And the patterns also fit for the young folks.
Yeah.
The
Does
next-
Alan really wear the batik shirts?
Of course, he
Yeah.
wears it a lot. Let me call
Does he
the
like
next
wearing
one.
them? Just like the Hawaiians, they like to
right.
wear their Hawaiian shirts.
Right.
Does
right.
he like wearing batik? Do you, Alan? Okay.
Okay, the next one I'm calling Madison again. Because Madison is so beautiful. I want to call her
Isn't
like
she?
dozens of times.
Yeah.
Madison, this is another thing that the way Madison wears it also can be for casual. But, you know, the top is, you can wear that for like a bayat top that you can, you know, wear for formal.
Yeah.
But the way she wears it with that sarong is more like casual. And she's also wearing the jewelry. But
Okay.
I feel like I want to trade with her in terms of the height and everything, you know.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
so
She is,
beautiful.
only in sandals, and
Right. She's what,
She's
5'10"?
tall.
Yeah, she's very tall and beautiful.
very
Thank you,
nice.
Madison.
Pretty model. Thank you.
The next one, I'm calling my husband, Steve Nugroho.
Hello, Steve.
Steve is wearing, this is probably,
This
look
is
at the
so
front.
nice.
This is a Balinese batik. If you look at it, it's more festive, right? It's more
Right,
festive.
right.
It's suitable to be worn, you know, for a formal party, like maybe wedding. It's got like all the golden yarn. So those are more like the real, you know.
Do grooms wear batik too?
Do grooms wear batik too?
Or they
probably
wear tuxedos?
Oh, they do wear batiks too, depending
Yeah?
on they wear depending on where, I guess, where they are
Yeah,
at. But
right.
in the villages and stuff like that, I mean, if you talk about Jakarta, big party and stuff like that, probably not, probably with the tuxedo. But but there's quite a few weddings
Because
that
there
are
are
wearing
so
batiks.
many nice batik shirts, right? That
Right.
are coming out.
Right.
I've seen some
Yeah.
really nice ones.
Well, the progression of batik is so amazing. I mean, from even before I left Indonesia back then up until today, it's so.
So okay, we
Are we cutting?
do we want to bring the models out so that we can see a group?
I
Okay.
think there's only one more. I think
So
Madison.
let's talk more about you while we are waiting for the models, because I've heard that you've been really out in the, in entertainment business in Indonesia.
Yeah, when I grew up, I used to do a lot of musical theater production. So a
On
lot of shows
stage?
on stage, and then I went to the movie too. So there's one movie that I played. There's a couple probably, but there's one that kept on being played even though, this is like, we talk about when I was like 17, 18 years old.
Okay.
And, it's not like something that you kind of want to show over and over again. But surprisingly, whenever I went to Indonesia, that shows is there on TV. And even my children watch it, that's mommy right there.
Oh, that's good.
But the mommy was still young.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It was just a fun thing to do.
Uh-huh. You were pretty known then in Indonesia when you were growing up.
Just like to have fun with the people who likes to do the musical. Because my background was ballet, so I did a lot of ballet before that until I went to the shows and to do the musical theater production.
Oh, very nice. So we should see some of those
Oh,
sometime
no.
if you have
You can find it
any
on YouTube.
videos, right?
Yeah.
While we're waiting for them, let's talk more about the activities in the Indonesian community here in Chicago. What other activities are going on
What activities?
that you are involved in? Oh, so I think we are near the end of the show already. It went pretty fast.
Okay.
Thank you, Monica, for gracing our show, and bring back some more designs next time, all right?
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
And thank you for watching another show of Asian Chronicle USA. Until next time.